Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. We have a jam-packed subscriber update for you. We got warehouses on fire. We got millions of chickens being killed in the last couple days. We got lots of reports coming in, and we have tragic news about the canned chickens. Oh, and make sure you stick till the end to get to the self-reliance tip for the day. It is an awesome one. All right, folks, let's jump straight into it. Bird flu update. Of course, once again, for perspective, 518 million USA chickens before this whole thing started. Last time I said there was 33 million chickens killed. I have an update on that number. It is now up to 35 million. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So April 26th, Pennsylvania, that outbreak in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or alleged outbreak in Pennsylvania, lost another 300,000 egg layers that were culled because of PCR tests. Take that for what you will. Second, April 27th, Nebraska, 2.1 million egg layers culled due to PCR tests positive of bird flu. All right, I promised you some updates on the fire watch. Purdue Farms, a soybean processing facility in Chesapeake, Virginia, lost a silo due to a fire. They were able to save the facility. Hormel Foods in Suffolk, Virginia as well. Funny how close those two are, huh? They were able to extinguish that before it was able to cause damage to the structure. Just more fires next to each other. Nothing suspicious whatsoever about that. Folks, a lot of you have already heard, and it is big news. I have been pushing the 12-pack canned chicken from Walmart, great value, because it was indeed a great value at $19.94. It is now over $35, and people are seeing different prices out there, $35 to $36 approximately for the 12-pack, which puts it just about $3 a can, which is significantly larger and higher than the $1.66 I was suggesting that you buy it at. That is big news out there. If you waited to buy your chicken, sorry. If you listened to me, well, canned chicken apparently is the new Bitcoin, right? We're going to the moon, baby. If you're planning on eating in the future, that's not good news. But if you happen to have a bazillion packs of 12 packs, like I do, my net worth just substantially increased, measurably. All right. If you missed out on the Bitcoin of the chicken world, canned chicken, great value for this massive investment opportunity, I give you several other investment opportunities that will allow you to eat protein in the future. Probably going to see some pretty significant price increases on these things as well. Aldi canned hams, you can still get those for a very attractive price. Also, I have been stocking up on Walmart beef stew. It is not a straight protein, but given the amount of protein in there, and it comes with some vegetables and some gravy, it goes great with rice. That's what I grew up on. Mixed 1 can of that with some canned green beans, and you have a nice, fancy, tasty meal. Vienna sausages out there are still the best value for chicken, if you can stand them. All right, let's get to your reports. Rick in Ohio saying, I have been watching the store shelves here, and I have seen shortages on meat, chicken, pasta, and the local Giant Eagles here, this is in Pennsylvania, have been fronting a lot of products, cereal, peanut butter, and a lot of canned products. No one is saying anything. I'm getting very frustrated that no one here, this is Ohio, is talking about it or getting prepared. The same goes for Sam's Club, Walmart. I'm witnessing shortages on a lot of products. I feel very isolated. My wife gets it, but she is afraid that if she tells people, they will brand her as a kook. I don't blame her. I've been preparing for the last 5 to 6 years. I'm pretty solid. Folks, that is the story of a lot of us, isn't it? You're afraid of getting branded a kook by people. People who won't do anything and then when disaster strikes, they're going to show up at your door expecting handouts. We love people, we care for people, but we want people to take personal responsibility for themselves, understandably. Trini 37, hi from Trinidad. Yesterday, one of our major supermarket grocery supply chains, Massey stores, had a cyber attack. The supermarket was shut down for the day. Another cyber attack on food system. Evan, lots of shortages in Washington state. We have 2 Walmarts in our city, and they have been low on milk and pasta, but today they were both out of milk. We are lucky because we have other stores like Safeway and Fred Meyer, but it is shocking to see shelves completely empty. They did attach a picture of the shelf, and indeed, it had like 1/2 gallon, and I think it was not of milk. I think it was of plant-based milk or something like that, and that was it. Just racks and racks empty. Folks, when this goes down, it goes down fast. When people start panicking, think what happens when people in your area hear about a snowstorm. How fast does the food disappear? Boom, gone. Trish, North Alabama stores still pretty stocked, but just very expensive. Seeing more off-brands than I have ever heard of, though. The Bigs Prep, an awesome channel out there, commented and said, interesting comment about Aldi. I documented in Ocala, Florida, that Aldi was low on sugar this week and egg prices doubled. Pretty much her exact comment is what I witnessed as well. Folks, we're not making this stuff up. You're not crazy. The people who are reporting this aren't crazy. What they are seeing is what they are seeing. ZRZR4 says, I thought Canada had a bad mustard crop. I said that was because Eastern Europe was where a large proportion of the mustard comes from. In fact, that is only 5% of the world's mustard crop. The article that I was reading was incorrect. So ZRZR, thank you for the correction. I dug into it a little more, and what happened was that the Canadian mustard crop was down 28% in 2021. They had a heat wave, and they also had a drought in that area. They account for 31.7% of the world's exports of mustard seeds, by far the largest exporter of mustard seeds, and they lost 28% of their crop last year. That is huge. Reports are indicating that Canadian farmers are planning on increasing their crop, their mustard fields by 1/3 this year. They're going up from 300,000 acres to 400,000 acres. Hopefully, they do not get hit by drought and heat again this year. Even if they do, that should at least partially make up for the damage there, and hopefully balance out our mustard needs for the world. Yes, top priority for many people, mustard. Dinlass says, Acme grocery store in Maryland. At first, I was wondering if this was a serious posting, but apparently it is. Low on some paper supplies. Everywhere is always out of bottled water. Meat is still expensive, despite this area being a major poultry producer. Folks, remember, we're part of a global economy. It doesn't matter what they make down the road. It matters what's happening in the world economy, right? Meat is still expensive despite this area being a major poultry producer. Bacon is up $2 a pound from the beginning of the year, and eggs are now $4 a dozen anywhere you go. Bought 10-pound bag of potatoes, and 2 days later had to throw out 1/3 of them because when I opened them, they were rotten and covered in soft spots. We'll be sure to look closer next time. They must be sitting somewhere for weeks at least. No wide-mouth canning supplies available. Regular mouth stuff is spotty. Canning supplies will be likely unavailable within a month for the rest of the season, and suggest buying lids online. Amazon still seems to have them. However, I will caution folks out there that all canning lids are not created equal. I did a bunch of research online on Amazon, and I am seeing lots and lots of complaints about canning lids that are apparently made in the dragon country over there, and they are not made of the same thickness of metal, and they are bending and warping and breaking the seal if you pressure cook them, if you pressure seal them. So if you're using them for dry canning, heating up in your oven, or just packing dry goods in there and putting oxygen absorbers in, they'll be fine for that probably. But if you are trying to get a good seal, you may buckle those lids. Make sure you get lids that have good reviews on them, all right? And make sure that people are using them for what you're using them for. Karma says, Sam's Club in Arkansas, prices went way up. I stocked up on raw honey about 6 weeks ago and paid $9.98. Today, the same honey is $12.98. Seems like everything went up between $1 and $4. Everything seemed stocked, but when you look up on the top shelves, it's not stocked with food, but garden outdoor stuff. Magan Avram, Shalom, I live in France, and people are already starting to panic buy because of Macron being reelected. I cannot verify that, and that sounds like a dangerously close to a political statement. However, I toss that out there for you who know the politics of that area a little bit better. Nighthawk M, Northwest Indiana. Everyone, listen to this. My husband and I were looking at new grills at Home Depot over the weekend. We picked out one that does propane on one side and charcoal on the other, thinking if the grid goes down, we'll have more options. We decided to wait until payday instead of charging it last weekend. The grill is now $100 more in a matter of days. Why? It's not new stock. It's the same grill. They were able to get it for the old price due to a tagging issue. Happy story for them. Not happy for the next people looking for a grill. Cindy E. Mesa, Arizona, prices are up big time. 18 eggs are now $5. Lots of out-of-stock foods. I was going to buy some Halo or Cuties, but the price is for a bag almost $7. Also, a friend in Southern California used to pay around $6 for chicken breasts. The other night went back to see if prices were the same. Same size package was over $14, folks. Yes, chicken prices are double what they used to be and more. Marilyn B. New Mexico, no gallon milk at Smith's, which is Kroger, of any kind. No canned peaches, Kroger brand, other brands expensive. Went to Safeway and plenty of milk. Checked out the canned fruit. The canned fruit section was about 45 inches wide and hit or miss, especially on the peaches. Very limited selection on everything else. Also checked out the coffee, and Folgers was prominent, but the prices were astronomical. No house brand available, very few Maxwell House, and the rest was specialty coffees. Walmart had those pesky peaches and reasonable Folgers. Very low on crackers. I'm definitely on a scavenger hunt these days. Keep shopping, folks. Keep looking. PA 5x5 says soup prices at Aldi's in central Pennsylvania up 30%. First a 5-cent jump, and now just checked and they're 65 cents a can. Rico in Brisbane, Australia says the one thing I really noticed at the moment is people and even families sleeping in cars as I travel about to work and even the grocery store. The housing crisis is so bad here. Now we are being told our electricity will be going up. Australia has one of the highest electricity prices in the world, and with this housing crisis, rental homes hard to find. Food prices up, fuel expected to go back up, and now being told to expect our electricity to go up after the election. Talking a little bit about afraid that his house will be bought. The places he's renting will be bought and will be kicked out. Self-reliance tip of the day, folks. All right, so we do need to stockpile vitamins out there. That's a good idea. But first thing you want to do is stop treating your yard with chemicals. Hopefully you haven't been doing that, but if you have, you need to stop it now. Why? Because you're killing the dandelions, and you want the dandelions. Not only are you killing them, but even if you spray the lawn with chemicals, you can't eat the dandelions, even if they're there. All right, so what can you do with dandelions? Think about this. The greens, the leaves. The smaller leaves are better, but you can use them for salad greens. You don't need to work very hard for this, but you can get free salad greens from your yard by picking dandelions. Preferably get the smaller leaves before the yellow blossom. That will give you a better taste, but you can eat afterwards as well. It actually becomes more nutritious if you wait longer, but the flavor is harsher and you may not like the taste. But if you're trying to survive, that is a good thing to do. Something that will make it a little more appetizing is you can turn it into a tea. It will taste all right, and you can use the blossom for dandelion jelly. You can actually make dandelion wine out there, I believe, too, for those of you who partake. Roots, you can use that as a coffee substitute. Take the roots, pull the roots out. They're very long roots, so you might need a shovel to get them out. But if you pull the roots out, you can bake the roots after washing them, and once they're a little charred, you can then grind that up and use it as a coffee substitute. You will get some great things for your work. Dandelions are packed full of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, iron, folate, which is B9, potassium, and calcium. It is healthier than broccoli, and yet it is growing probably in your yard. It is definitely growing in my yard. In fact, I encourage it to grow in my yard. I'd rather have more dandelions than grass. I just haven't figured out how to kill off the grass and promote the dandelions. But if I can figure that out, I'm going to do it. It is better than broccoli. It is packed with antioxidants, and there is research there to suggest, and they are still studying it, whether it is good as an anti-cancer. Folks, that is your self-sufficient tip of the day. If you have some ground that you're not using for anything else, get some dandelion seeds, right, off the little stems and try to plant some if you can, because that may actually be your best crop out there. Plus, it's hard to kill it, right? All right, folks, that's what I got for you today. Steve Poplar, out.